Welcome everybody. Here Prajakta Sonone from Yashwantrao Chavan College of Pharmacy, Ahmednagar. Now today we are going to discuss about the biphasic liquid dosage form such as suspension. After completion of our discussion, we'll get information regarding the definition of suspension, classification of suspension, advantages and disadvantages of suspension, packaging of suspension, formulation of suspension, ideal qualities of suspension, evaluation parameter or stability of suspension, and methods of preparation of suspension. Now we start with the definition. Definition of suspension is the pharmaceutical suspension is a coarse dispersion in which internal phase, that is therapeutically active ingredients, is a dispersed uniformly throughout the external phase. That is, the suspension is a biphasic liquid dosage form of medicament in which the finely divided solid particles having the ranges and ranging from the 0.5 to 5 micron are dispersed in a liquid or semi-solid vehicle. The particle size of dispersed phase is very important in the formulation of suspension. Next point is the ideal qualities or ideal properties of a good suspension. In that, first property is it should be settled slowly and should be readily redispersed on gentle shaking of the container. Second is it should be chemically inert. Third one is the suspension particle should not form a cake. And last one is the suspension should pour readily and evenly from its container. It is divided by two phases, that is internal phase and external phase. Internal phase is also known as a dispersed phase and external phase is known as a continuous phase. Dispersed phase means it contains the solid particles and external phase means it contains the large number of a vehicle or liquid. Next is the types of a pharmaceutical suspension. In that, first type is antacid oral suspension, antibacterial oral suspension, dry powder for oral suspension, analgesic oral suspension, anthelmintic oral suspension, anticonvulsant oral suspension, antifungal oral suspension. Next is the classification of suspension. It is based on general classes. First is oral suspension. Example of oral suspension is paracetamol suspension, antacid, tetracycline hydrochloride. Second is externally applied suspension. Example is calamine lotion. Third is parenteral suspension. In that, example is procaine penicillin G, insulin zinc suspension. Second is it is also based on the proportion of the solid particles. It is divided into two types, dilute suspension and concentrated suspension. In dilute suspension, the concentration is ranges from 2 to 10% weight by volume of solid. Example is cortisone acetate and prednisolone acetate. And second one is the concentrated suspension. In that, the solid ranges from concentration of solid ranges from a 50% weight by volume. Example is zinc oxide suspension. And third is based on the size of the solid particles. In that, it is divided into three types. First is colloidal suspension, second is coarse suspension, and third one is the nano suspension. First is colloidal suspension. Suspension having the particle size of the suspended solid is less than 1 micron is known as a colloidal suspension, whereas the coarse suspension is the the suspension having the particle size is greater than 1 micron in diameter is known as a coarse suspension. Big difference between the colloidal suspension and coarse suspension are the in colloidal suspension the particle size is less than 1 micron, whereas in coarse suspension the particle size is greater than 1 micron is this is the difference. Third type is the nano suspension. In the suspensions are the biphasic colloidal dispersion of a nano size drug particle stabilized by the surfactant. The particle size is 10 nanogram and the size of the drug particle is less than a 1 millimeter. Advantages of the suspension. Suspension can improve the chemical stability of drug. Example is procaine penicillin G. First advantage of suspension is it can be improve the chemical stability of certain drugs. And second is the drug in suspension exhibit the higher rate of bioavailability than other dosage form. And the order of bioavailability of different dosage form are given below. Solution bioavailability of solution is greater than suspension. This bioavailability of suspension is greater than capsule and greater than compressed tablet. Next is the disadvantages of suspension. In that, first disadvantage is it should be difficult to formulate. Second is physical stability, sedimentation and compactions can causes the problem. It is bulky and sufficient care must be taken during the handling and transport of the suspension. And last is uniform and accurate dose cannot be achieved unless the suspensions are packed in a unit dosage form. Next point is the difference between the deflocculated and flocculated suspension. In the flocculated suspension, in this system, the solids are present as individual particles and they also exhibit the aggregation but comparatively lower than the flocculated suspension. And in flocculated suspension, in this solid aggregates by forming a chemical bridges. That is, the particles exist as a separate entity in case of deflocculated suspension, and whereas in case of the flocculated suspension, the particles form a loose aggregate and form a network-like structure. Second point in deflocculated suspension is it should be pleasant in appearance because the uniform dispersion of particles, whereas in flocculated suspension they are unpleasant in appearance. In case of deflocculated suspension, particle exist as a repulsive forces, and in case of flocculated suspension, particle exhibit attractive forces. Next is the particle settles independently, and here the particle settles as a floccules. Whereas the rate of sedimentation is slow in case of deflocculated suspension, and in case of flocculated suspension, the rate of sedimentation is high. Next point is the particle exists as a separate entities. Here particles form a loose aggregates. And next last point in case of the deflocculated suspension is bioavailability is high, and in case of the flocculated suspension bioavailability is comparatively less. Next point is the formulation of suspension. In the formulation of suspension, it depends on the whether the suspension is flocculated or deflocculated, and the three approaches are commonly involved in the formulation of suspension. First is the use of the structural vehicle, second use of controlled flocculation, third is the combination of both of the methods. Here some ingredients given for the formulation of suspension. These are the first is the wetting agent, and these wetting agents are added to disperse the solid in the continuous liquid phase. Second is the flocculating agent, and these flocculating agents are added to floccules the drug particles. And next is the thickeners or thickening agent, and they are added to increase the viscosity of the suspension. Fourth agent is the buffers and pH adjusting agent, and these are added to stabilize the suspension to a desired pH range or maintain the pH of the suspension. Next is the osmotic agent or osmotic agents, and these osmotic agents are added to adjust the osmotic pressure comparable to the biological fluid. Next is the organoleptic additives. It consists of the coloring agent, and these are added to impart the desired color to the suspension and improve the elegance. And last point is the preservative. Preservatives are added in the suspension to prevent the microbial growth. Here the flocculating agent and these flocculating agents are added to improve the it is also known as the surfactant, whereas these agents are acts by reducing the surface tension and thereby improving the dispersion of the solid and minimize the flocculation. Example of the flocculating agents are sodium lauryl sulfate, twins, spans, etc. Second is the thickening agent. These are the hydrophilic colloids which forms the colloidal dispersion with water and increase the viscosity of the continuous phase so that the solid particles remain suspended in it for a sufficient long time to measure the uniform accurate dose. Thickening agent is also known as the suspending agent. An example of that suspending agent or thickening agent example is methyl cellulose, sodium carboxy, methyl cellulose, gum acacia agar, tragacan, starch, sodium alginate. And next point is the wetting agent, and wetting agents are added to reduce the interfacial tension between the solid and liquid phase, that is the dispersed phase and the continuous phase, and thus producing the suspension of a required quality. And this may be achieved by adding the suitable wetting agent which is absorbed at the solid or liquid interface in such a way that the affinity of the particles for a surrounding medium is increased and the interparticular forces are decreased. Example of the wetting agents are alcohol in tragacan mucilage, whereas second example is glycerin in a sodium alginate. Next point is the preservative. Suitable preservatives is added in the suspension because it prevents the growth of microorganisms or bacteria. And some examples are given below: benzoic acid, sodium benzoate, methyl paraben, propyl paraben. Last point is the organoleptic additives. Or in organoleptic additives, it contain coloring agents, sweetening agents and flavoring agents and are generally incorporated in the oral suspension. Next point is the preparation of suspension. Following considerations are important for manufacturing of the suspension to the pharmacist. First one is the selection of right material that goes into the manufacturers. Second, the steps involved and their sequence in the manufacture. Third is preservation and storage of the product. Steps involved in the formulation of suspensions given below, that is, it is also known as the methods of preparation of suspension. In that, first step is grinding or levigating the insoluble materials, means grinding of the solid particles. After the grinding of solid particles or insoluble materials, all the soluble ingredients are dissolved in the same portion of vehicle and then added to the smooth paste to the above slurry. And this slurry is then transferred to the graduated cylinder and the motor is rinsed with successive portion of vehicle. Decide whether solids are suspended in a structure vehicle, flocculated, and whereas the flocculated and then the suspended make up the dispersion to the final volume by adding the suitable suspending agent. Next point is the packaging of suspension. The pharmaceutical suspension for oral use are generally packed in a wide mouth container having adequate space above the liquid to ensure the proper mixing. It is packed in a wide mouth containers and it should be stored in a cool and dark place. And parenteral suspensions are packed in either glass ampoules or vials. And next last point is the evaluation parameter or stability of suspension. The following parameters of the stability of suspensions are given below. First is sedimentation method, second is rheological method, third is a electrokinetic method, and last one is a micromeretic method. Let me start with the sedimentation method. In the sedimentation method, in this method the determination or measurement of the sedimentation volume is the most important parameter for the stability of the suspension. And in this suspension, formulation was made separately into 100 ml measuring cylinder and the sedimentation volume was read after at weekly intervals for 12 weeks. Whereas this suspension, second is rheological methods. It provides the information about settling behavior and the arrangement of the vehicle and the particle structural features. Whereas in the rheological method, there is the determination of the viscosity of the suspension and good quality of viscometers should be used. Third is electrokinetic methods. In this method, the determination of a surface electric charge or zeta potential of the suspension is the most important parameter for the determination of stability of suspension. Last point is the micromeretic method, and in this the stability of suspension it depends on the particle size of the dispersed sponge, and change in the particle size with reference to time will provide useful information regarding the stability of suspension, and this should be done with the help of a microscope or counter method. Thank you for watching this video.